The discovery. The bitter Arctic wind howled across the Svalbard research station as Dr. Sarah Chen adjusted her thermal suit's settings. The temperature had dropped another 10 degrees in the last hour, but that wasn't what concerned her. The readings from their deep core samples were unlike anything she'd seen in 15 years of geological research. "Marcus, are you seeing this?" she called out to her research partner. Dr. Marcus Wright hunched over his monitoring station, his dark features illuminated by the soft blue glow of multiple screens. "Yeah, and I still don't believe it," he replied, adjusting his glasses. "The energy signatures are completely off the charts. Whatever's down there is actively absorbing and emitting energy in ways that shouldn't be possible." The discovery couldn't have come at a more crucial time. Earth had been aware of alien civilizations for nearly a decade now, but remained isolated and technologically inferior. The Galactic Confederation maintained a strict policy of limited interaction with developing worlds, which effectively meant Earth was cut off from advanced technology and trade. Sarah guided their drilling probe deeper, watching as it approached the mysterious energy source. At exactly 1,753 meters below the surface, their instruments detected a crystalline formation unlike anything previously documented. The crystals had formed in perfect geometric patterns, their surfaces smooth and faceted like precisely cut gems. "Careful," Marcus warned, monitoring the pressure readings. "These formations are giving off some kind of periodic energy pulse. They might be unstable." As soon as the sampling tool made contact with the crystal cluster, every instrument in the research station went haywire. Lights flickered, computers crashed, and their backup generators kicked in automatically. The disturbance lasted only seconds, but when it ended, they had their sample, and the world would never be the same. Initial analysis revealed properties that defied conventional physics. The crystals didn't just conduct energy, they amplified it exponentially. A tiny electrical current fed into one end would emerge from the other hundreds of times stronger. Even more remarkably, the crystals seemed to respond differently to human presence than to automated testing equipment. "Look at this," Sarah said one evening, pointing to a microscope display. "The crystal structure is actually reconfiguring itself at the molecular level. It's like it's learning from each energy signature we expose it to." Marcus nodded, making notes on his tablet. "The real question is, why haven't the aliens discovered these? They'd been studying Earth for years." "Maybe they have," Sarah replied thoughtfully, "but couldn't use them. Notice how the crystals only become fully active when in direct contact with human operators. They're responding specifically to our bioelectric fields." As weeks passed, their research revealed more surprising properties. The crystals grew naturally in extreme pressure conditions, but they could also be cultivated in laboratories under precisely controlled circumstances. Different formation pressures created crystals with varying properties, some better at storing energy, others at amplifying it, and some capable of focusing it into concentrated beams. The military implications were obvious. Sarah and Marcus had both worked on defense projects before, and they understood what this could mean for Earth's protection. But they also knew the risks. If word of their discovery got out, their peaceful research station would become a prime target for both human and alien interests. One morning, as Sarah reviewed their latest test results, every screen in the facility suddenly went dark. When they came back online, a single message flashed across them. "Alert. Unauthorized alien vessel DTTCTD in Earth's atmosphere." She rushed to the observation deck, joining Marcus and other researchers at the reinforced windows. Through the swirling snow, they watched as a sleek silver ship descended from the clouds. Its design was unmistakably Arcturian, one of the most advanced species in the Galactic Confederation. "They know," Marcus whispered. "Somehow they've detected what we're doing here." Sarah made a split-second decision, pulling out her secure phone and dialing a number she'd hoped never to use, her direct line to Earth Defense Command. "This is Dr. Sarah Chen, authorization code Alpha 729, she said as soon as the line connected. We have a Priority 1 discovery at the Stalbert Research Station, and we have visitors." Within minutes, Earth defense ships appeared in the sky above them. The Arcturian vessel retreated without confrontation, but the message was clear: their secret wasn't safe anymore. That evening, as military personnel swarmed the research station, Sarah and Marcus sat in their lab, examining their original crystal sample through the microscope. "Everything changes now," Marcus said quietly. Sarah nodded, picking up one of the larger crystal samples. It pulsed with a soft blue light in response to her touch. In its faceted surface, she saw the reflection of Earth's future, a future where humanity would no longer be at the mercy of alien technology and politics. "Yes," she replied, "but maybe for the better. Earth needs this. We need this." In the frozen ground below them, more crystals waited to be discovered, and in space above, alien ships continued their patrol, unaware that the balance of power in the galaxy was about to shift dramatically. The age of human crystal technology had begun. Understanding power. The underground facility beneath Montana's Bitterroot Mountains hummed with activity. 3 months had passed since the discovery in Svalbard, and Project Crystal Dawn had grown into Earth's most ambitious research program. Dr. Sarah Chen watched through reinforced glass as technicians carefully installed another crystal array into the testing chamber. "Power sync at 97% and holding," Marcus reported from his station. The crystals in the chamber pulsed with a steady blue light, perfectly matching the heartbeat of their human operator. "Neural interface is stable. Ready for the power test." Sarah nodded, checking the readouts on her tablet. They had learned more about the crystals in 12 weeks than they had about any other technology in decades. The crystals didn't just amplify energy. They formed a unique connection with human consciousness itself. Initiating power transfer sequence, the test operator announced. The crystals' glow intensified as energy began flowing through them. On the monitors, power readings climbed rapidly: 200% baseline, 500%, 1000%. "Hold it there," Sarah ordered. The readings stabilized, showing power output at 15 times normal capacity with minimal energy loss. More importantly, the crystal structure remained stable, adapting to the increased load instead of becoming unstable like in their earlier tests. A young researcher burst into the control room, tablet in hand. "Dr. Chen, you need to see this." He pulled up a series of images on the main display. "These are from our orbital telescopes. 3 Confederation ships just dropped out of FTL at the edge of the solar system." Sarah studied the images. The alien vessels were massive, easily dwarfing Earth's largest ships. "They're early. We expected at least another month before they'd send an inspection fleet." "They must have detected our power tests," Marcus said. "Even with our shielding, this much energy is hard to hide." Sarah grabbed her secure phone, quickly dialing Earth Defense Command. As she waited for the connection, she watched the crystals in the test chamber continue their steady pulse. They had made incredible progress, but were they ready for what was coming? The next week saw a flurry of activity as research teams worked around the clock. They had discovered that each crystal formation possessed unique properties based on its growth conditions. Pressure-grown crystals excelled at energy amplification, while temperature-variant crystals showed remarkable abilities in energy focusing and projection. Most importantly, they had confirmed their initial theory. The crystals formed a symbiotic relationship with human bioelectric fields. No amount of alien technology could replicate this connection. It was as if the crystals had evolved specifically to work with human biology. "Look at this pattern," Sarah explained to the gathered military officials. She highlighted a complex molecular structure on the display. When a human operator interfaces with a crystal, their neural patterns actually become encoded in the crystal lattice. The longer they work together, the stronger the connection becomes. "Can the aliens hack this connection?" General Richards asked, leaning forward with interest. Marcus stepped up to answer. "That's the beautiful part, sir. The connection is unique to each individual human. Even if the aliens could understand how it works, They can't replicate the specific bioelectric signature needed to activate it. The implications were staggering. Earth had stumbled upon not just a new power source, but a completely new form of technology, one that was, by its very nature, impossible for their potential adversaries to steal or copy. But time was running out. The alien inspection fleet had taken up position just beyond lunar orbit, and their demands for access to Earth's research facilities grew more insistent by the day. The Confederation claimed authority under their Developing Worlds Protection Protocols, but everyone knew their real concern. Earth had found something that threatened their technological superiority. Late one night, as Sarah reviewed the latest test data, she noticed something in the neural interface readings. The crystals weren't just synchronizing with human operators, they were learning from them. Each interaction made them more efficient, more responsive. They're not tools, she realized aloud. They're partners. The insight led to a breakthrough in crystal cultivation. By exposing growing crystals to human bioelectric fields during formation, they could create arrays that were pre-adapted for human interface. The process cut training time in half and increased power efficiency by 300%. As Sarah walked through the facility's main research floor, she saw dozens of crystals pulsing in harmony with their human operators. Each connection was unique, a partnership between human consciousness and crystalline intelligence that defied conventional understanding. An alarm suddenly blared through the complex. Unidentified energy signature detected in lunar orbit, the automated system announced. Multiple alien vessels powering weapons systems. Sarah rushed to the command center, where Marcus was already pulling up sensor data. The alien ships had moved closer, their massive forms now clearly visible from Earth. "They're done waiting," Marcus said grimly. "They want what we have, and they're ready to take it by force." Sarah watched the tactical display, her mind racing. They had hoped for more time, but maybe they were ready enough. The crystals had chosen humanity as their partners. Now it was time to show the galaxy what that partnership could do. First contact crisis. Commander Elena Santos stood on the bridge of the EDS Defiant, Earth's first crystal-powered warship. Through the viewport, she watched the massive Confederation fleet spread out in a standard attack formation. 27 ships against Earth's handful of defenders. All crystal systems synchronized, her XO reported. Throughout the ship, human operators maintained neural links with their assigned crystals, creating a network of consciousness and crystalline energy that made the vessel more than just a ship. It was an extension of its crew. They're broadcasting, Lieutenant Park announced from communications. A holographic display materialized in the center of the bridge, showing a tall, ethereal figure with iridescent skin and multiple eyes. High Commander Zixtal of the Confederation Enforcement Fleet. "This is your final warning." The alien's translated voice resonated through the bridge. "Your species has developed restricted technology in violation of Confederation law. Surrender your research facilities and prepare for occupation." Elena felt her crystal interfaced pulse in sync with her rising anger. Earth had never agreed to Confederation authority. Their protection was nothing more than technological suppression wrapped in diplomatic language. "This is Commander Santos of the Earth Defense Force," she replied, keeping her voice steady. "We are a sovereign species in our own system. The technology we've developed is our own, created through human innovation. We will not surrender it." The alien's multiple eyes narrowed. "Then you leave us no choice. Your species is not ready for this level of advancement. We will take it by force, for your own protection." The hologram vanished, and immediately the alien ships began to move. Their hulls shimmered with energy shields far more advanced than anything Earth had previously encountered. "All ships, battle formation Delta," Elena ordered through the fleet channel. The handful of Earth vessels moved into position, their crystal cores pulsing with building power. "Remember your training. Trust your crystals, trust yourselves." The Confederation ships struck first, launching a barrage of energy weapons that lit up space like artificial stars. In previous encounters, such an attack would have overwhelmed Earth's defenses instantly. But this time was different. Crystal shields at full power. The defense operator announced calmly. Around each Earth ship, barriers of crystalline energy formed, not just blocking the alien weapons, but absorbing their power. The crystals pulsed brighter, turning the enemy's own energy against them. All ships, execute attack pattern Sigma, Elena commanded. The Earth fleet moved as one, their human crews and crystal systems working in perfect harmony. Energy beams lanced out, their power amplified 100-fold by the crystals. The alien shields, designed to counter conventional weapons, buckled under the assault. The Confederation ships scattered, clearly surprised by the effectiveness of Earth's defense. They're regrouping, Tactical reported. Energy signatures indicate they're charging their main weapons. Elena nodded grimly. This was just their opening move. Now we see what they're really capable of. The space between the fleets lit up with weapons fire. The Confederation ships unleashed their full arsenal, plasma torpedoes, quantum disruptors, gravity lances. Each shot carried enough power to level a city. But with each attack, the crystals adapted, learning from the energy signatures, becoming more efficient at absorbing and redirecting the power. The neural link between crews and crystals grew stronger as they fought together, achieving levels of coordination that no automated system could match. Crystal Core 4 is showing strain, engineering reported. Human operator is compensating. Stabilized. Elena felt her own crystal interface surge with energy. The connection was deeper than she'd experienced in training, as if the crystal was responding to the intensity of the situation. Through it, she could almost feel the collective determination of her crew, their unified will to defend their world. The battle raged for hours, neither side able to gain a decisive advantage. The Confederation ships had superior numbers and technology, but they couldn't overcome the unique synergy between human operators and their crystal systems. Finally, after a particularly intense exchange of fire, the alien fleet pulled back to regroup. Their formation was ragged now, several ships showing signs of significant damage. They're preparing another attack, Tactical warned. Energy readings are off the scale. Elena studied the tactical display, noting how the alien ships were positioning themselves. They were preparing for their standard overwhelming force strategy, the same tactic they'd used to subjugate other developing worlds. But Earth wasn't helpless anymore. The crystals had chosen humanity as their partners, and that partnership was proving more powerful than anyone had imagined. All ships prepare for maximum crystal synchronization, Elena ordered. Throughout the fleet, human operators deepened their neural connections with their crystals. Power levels surged as the crystals responded to their partners' determination. The alien fleet launched their attack, a massive wave of energy that lit up space like a newborn sun. But Earth's ships stood their ground, their crystal shields glowing brighter and brighter as they absorbed the onslaught. And then, at Elena's command, they released that energy back at their attackers. The human advantage. The aftermath of the first battle marked a turning point. The Confederation fleet had withdrawn to the outer solar system, but everyone knew they would return with reinforcements. In the breathing space this provided, humanity raced to advance their understanding of crystal technology. Deep beneath the Bitterroot Mountains, Dr. Sarah Chen stood in the newly expanded crystal cultivation chamber. Hundreds of crystals grew in carefully controlled environments, each bathed in the bioelectric fields of their future operators. The sight still filled her with wonder. The way the crystals pulsed with soft light, responding to human presence even before full activation. The latest batch is showing unprecedented growth rates, Marcus reported, reviewing data on his tablet. The neural imprinting is taking hold faster than ever. It's like they're evolving to work with us. Sarah nodded, watching a group of military personnel undergo crystal attunement training. Each operator sat in a meditation pod, establishing their initial neural link with their assigned crystal. The process had become more efficient since their early experiments, but it still required patience and focus. Commander Santos' battle data was invaluable, she said. The crystals don't just adapt to combat situations, they learn from them. Each engagement makes the connection stronger. Their research had revealed new applications for the technology. Crystal-enhanced communication systems allowed instant, untraceable transmission across vast distances. Defense shields could now absorb and redirect energy with nearly perfect efficiency. But most importantly, they had discovered that multiple crystals could be networked together, their power growing exponentially when linked through their human operators. An alert sounded through the facility. Dr. Chen to command center immediately, the announcement system called. In the command center, General Richards waited with a grim expression. The main display showed a tactical map of the solar system, with dozens of new contact signatures appearing at its edges. Long-range sensors just picked them up, he said as Sarah and Marcus entered. The Confederation has assembled the largest fleet we've ever seen. Over 200 ships, including at least 3 Dreadnought-class vessels. Sarah studied the data, her mind racing. How long do we have? At their current speed, 4 days, maybe 5. The general turned to face them. Please tell me we've got something new we can use against those numbers. Marcus pulled up their latest research data. We've been developing a new crystal configuration. Instead of just linking individual crystals to individual operators, we can create a collective network. Multiple humans and crystals working in perfect synchronization. The power output would be unprecedented, Sarah added. But we've never tested it at full scale. The neural load on the operators would be intense. Test it now, Richards ordered. Whatever it takes. In 5 days, we're either going to make history or become history. The next 96 hours were a blur of activity. Every available crystal was brought online. Every trained operator called to duty. Earth's ships were retrofitted with new crystal arrays designed for network synchronization. Scientists and soldiers worked side by side, pushing the boundaries of what was possible with their new technology. Sarah found herself working closely with Commander Santos, whose experience from the first battle proved invaluable in refining the neural interface systems. The connection during combat, it's different. Elena explained as they calibrated a new crystal array. It's deeper somehow. Like the crystal becomes an extension of your consciousness. That's exactly what we're trying to achieve with the network, Sarah replied. Instead of individual connections, we're creating a shared consciousness between all operators and crystals. The power increase should be exponential. But there were risks. Early tests showed that the neural feedback from multiple linked crystals could overwhelm an unprepared mind. They needed operators with exceptional mental discipline and the ability to work in perfect harmony with both their crystals and each other. Elena volunteered to lead the first full-scale test. She and 5 other experienced operators linked their crystals together, establishing the synchronized neural network. The power readings exceeded all expectations, but the mental strain was evident. It's intense, Elena reported, her voice strained, but manageable. The crystals, they're helping us balance the load. It's like they understand what we're trying to do. As the final hours counted down, Earth's defenders made their preparations. Every ship was equipped with networked crystal arrays. Operators trained in synchronized meditation techniques, strengthening their mental bonds. The crystals pulsed with increasing power, as if they too sensed the approaching conflict. Sarah stood at the main observation window of the Montana facility, watching the sunset paint the sky in shades of red and gold. Behind her, crystals hummed with energy, their light reflecting off the reinforced walls. "Do you think we're ready?" Marcus asked, joining her at the window. She turned to look at the training room, where human operators sat in perfect stillness, their crystals pulsing in harmony with their heartbeats. The sight filled her with a strange mix of pride and apprehension. "I think we've discovered something more important than just a new technology," she replied. "We've found true symbiosis, a partnership that makes both species stronger." An alarm echoed through the facility. On screens throughout the complex, the same message appeared: Confederation fleet entering inner solar system. All personnel to battle stations. The time had come to show the galaxy what humanity and our crystal allies could really do. Turning point. The Confederation fleet emerged from faster-than-light travel in perfect formation, their massive ships casting long shadows across the solar system. At their center, 3 dreadnoughts moved into position, each one large enough to dwarf Earth's largest cities. Commander Elena Santos stood on the bridge of the EDS Defiant, watching the tactical display with steady eyes. Around Earth, 30 crystal-powered ships waited in defensive positions, their crews linked in unprecedented neural networks. All ships report crystal synchronization complete, her XO announced. Network stability at optimal levels. Elena closed her eyes for a moment, feeling the deep resonance of the crystal network. Through it, she could sense the determined focus of every operator in the fleet, their consciousness joined with the crystals in perfect harmony. The familiar hologram of High Commander Zixtal appeared on the bridge. The alien leader's multiple eyes showed no emotion as they surveyed Earth's defenders. "Your resistance is admirable but futile," the translated voice declared. "We have studied your crystal technology. Your advantage of surprise is gone. Surrender now, and your species will be given protected status under direct Confederation supervision." Elena felt a ripple of amusement through the crystal network. The aliens still didn't understand. They thought this was about technology, about weapons and power. They couldn't comprehend the true nature of humanity's partnership with the crystals. "This is Commander Santos," she replied calmly. "We reject your offer. Earth is not yours to supervise or protect. This is your final warning. Leave our system, or face the consequences." The hologram vanished. Immediately, the Confederation fleet began to move, spreading out in an attack pattern designed to overwhelm Earth's defenses through sheer numbers. "All ships, initiate Protocol Omega," Elena commanded. Throughout the fleet, human operators deepened their neural connections, not just with their individual crystals, but with the entire network. Power readings surged as the crystals responded, their energy combining and amplifying in ways that defied conventional physics. The alien fleet struck first, launching a massive barrage of energy weapons. The space between the fleets lit up with enough firepower to crack a planet. But Earth was ready. The networked crystal shields caught the incoming fire, not just blocking it but absorbing it, adding the enemy's own power to their growing energy reservoir. The crystals pulsed with increasing brightness, their light visible even from the planet's surface. "Network strength at 200% and climbing," Tactical reported. "All ships maintaining synchronization." Elena felt the building power through her crystal link. The combined consciousness of the fleet worked as one. Human minds and crystalline intelligence merged in perfect synchronization. They were no longer just ships and crews. They were a single entity, a symphony of human will and crystal energy. "Execute attack pattern Phoenix," she ordered. Earth's ships moved in perfect coordination, their networked crystals releasing the stored energy in precise, devastating beams. The alien fleet's advanced shields, designed to handle conventional weapons, proved inadequate against the combined power of the crystal network. The first dreadnought's shields failed catastrophically, sections of its massive hull peeling away under the crystal-enhanced assault. The second tried to retreat, but found its engines disrupted by focused crystal pulses that ignored its defensive systems completely. "They're launching their automated combat drones," Tactical announced. Thousands of robotic fighters poured from the alien ships, their AI systems programmed with countless battle strategies. Elena allowed herself a small smile. Exactly as expected, all ships transitioned to Phase 2. The crystal network shifted frequency, sending out waves of energy that the research team had discovered during their final tests. The drones, without human operators to shield them, found their control systems overwhelmed by the crystal resonance. They drifted harmlessly, their advanced AI cores unable to cope with the unique energy patterns. High Commander Zixtal's hologram appeared again, but this time the alien's composure had cracked. "This is impossible. Our analysis showed your technology was inferior." "How are you doing this?" "You analyzed our technology," Elena replied, "but you couldn't analyze our humanity. The crystals aren't our tools, they're our partners. Together, we're more than the sum of our parts. As if to emphasize her words, the crystal network pulsed with renewed power. Throughout the fleet, human operators and their crystal partners worked in perfect unity, their combined strength far exceeding anything the Confederation had predicted possible. The battle lasted less than an hour. When it ended, the mighty Confederation fleet was in ruins. The few ships still capable of faster-than-light travel retreated, leaving their damaged companions behind. In the aftermath, as Earth's ships moved to secure their victory, Dr. Sarah Chen stood in the Montana facility's observation room, watching the crystal arrays pulse with steady light. Each one beat in perfect rhythm with its human partner's heart, the visible symbol of the partnership that had changed everything. "So what happens now?" Marcus asked, joining her at the window. Sarah smiled, placing her hand against the crystal interface panel. It warmed to her touch, its light brightening in response. "Now we show them a better way." The Confederation tried to keep humanity contained, thinking we weren't ready for advanced technology. But we didn't just find technology. We found allies, partners, friends. Through the crystal network, she could feel the pride and determination of every operator, the steady pulse of every crystal. Humanity had proved itself not through domination, but through cooperation. They had shown the galaxy that true power comes not from controlling advanced technology, but from working in harmony with it. The age of human isolation was over. A new era had begun, one where humanity and their crystal partners would forge a different path, showing the galaxy that the greatest achievements come not through force or control, but through partnership and understanding. High above Earth, the crystal-powered ships continued their patrol, their lights pulsing like new stars in the night sky. Each pulse was a heartbeat, a reminder that in the vast expanse of space, humanity had found not just a tool or a weapon, but something far more precious, true companions in their journey to the stars.